Alright survivors, listen up! If you want to last more than 5 minutes in Dead Cells, you need to pick the right class. Because let's be honest, not all of them are built the same. Some will turn you into an unstoppable force, while others, well, let's just say you'll be zombie food before you even find decent loot. In this video, we're breaking down the ultimate class tier list, ranking every single one from the absolute best to the ones you should avoid like the plague. If you want the perfect mix of buffs, perks, and overall survivability, stick around because this list might just save your virtual life. Now, before you start arguing in the comments, remember, this list is based on actual gameplay experience. We're talking about how well these classes perform when things get really intense. Some classes are amazing solo, some shine in a squad, and others, well, they might need a serious buff. So, if you're ready to find out which class will keep you in the game the longest, let's dive into the Dead Cells tier list. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking classes in Dead Cells. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching! The classes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Pirate. Let's talk about the Pirate class in Dead Cells, because honestly, someone has to. You'd think a class called Pirate would be all about high seas chaos, cannon fights, and plundering gold, right? Nope. Instead, you get a 20-member PH speed boost on your sailboat. That's it. No extra firepower, no treasure hunting perks, not even a parrot for style points. Just a slightly faster boat, which sounds cool until you realize that most of the game involves slowly scavenging for resources anyway. So congratulations! You're now the proud captain of a boat that's marginally faster while still being completely useless in combat. Now don't get me wrong, I get the appeal of speed in a naval survival game. But when every other class offers something game-changing, the Pirate feels like it got the short end of the cutlass. If you're dreaming of outmaneuvering enemies in epic sea battles, let me burst that bubble. This game doesn't even have ship combat, yet. So unless you really love the idea of being the first one to reach an empty island, you might want to set sail in another direction. The classes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Miner. Alright, let's talk about one of the more underrated classes in Dead Cells, the Miner. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would I pick a Miner? Sounds kinda basic, right? But hear me out. The Miner spawns with 4 dynamites right at the start. And trust me, those bad boys can come in clutch when you least expect it. They're perfect for blowing up those houses packed with mutants or zombies. And don't even get me started on how useful they are during those intense boss fights. It's all about timing and strategy, and the dynamite's explosive power can really turn the tide in your favor. But hey, while the Miner might not have all the flashy abilities some of the other classes do, it's definitely a solid choice for players who love a bit of chaos and destruction. If you're the type who loves clearing out hordes with a big bang, or you just want to take down bosses in style, the Miner is your go-to. Just keep your dynamites in check and you'll find that this C-tier class has some surprising value. It's all about knowing when to blow things up. And believe me, there's nothing quite as satisfying as watching a mutant-filled house go up in smoke. The classes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Rich, Priest, Gunslinger, and Medic. Alright, so you've made it past the rough start, right? You've probably been getting the hang of things in Dead Cells, and now you're wondering, which class should I roll with for that sweet, smooth sailing? Well, let me take you through some of the B-tier classes, where the fun starts to really kick in, without diving too deep into the chaos just yet. Trust me, there's something for everyone here. First up, let's talk about the Rich class. Ah yes, you know what they say, money talks, and in Dead Cells, it really talks. Starting with extra funds might seem like a small perk, but trust me, it's a game changer. Right from the beginning, you can afford some crucial equipment, coal, weapons, healing items, everything you need to stay alive and fend off those mobs. It gives you that early game cushion, so you don't have to scramble for the basics. You can focus on strategy instead of desperately running around looking for loot. Talk about starting off with a bang. Next, we've got the Priest. And no, it's not just about throwing holy water around praying for your life. This class comes with the Crucifix, which is basically your cheat code to wipe out any NPC for free. Yeah, you heard that right. It's like having a free ticket to skip the hardest fights. If you find yourself surrounded by a horde of enemies and panicking, just whip out that Crucifix and watch your problems vanish. It's one of those lifesavers you didn't know you needed until you're in the middle of a fight for survival. You get to look like a hero without the sweat. Now, let's chat about the Gunslinger. If you're new to Dead Cells and you've been thinking about how to make your life easier, this class is a fantastic pick. You start off with a random gun and some random ammo, so it's like you've got some early game firepower to protect yourself while you figure out the ropes. You're not going to be completely defenseless, and you don't have to worry about spending precious coin on weapons right off the bat. This lets you focus on exploring, learning, and surviving. Honestly, it's one of the best beginner classes if you want to avoid the headache of being caught without a weapon. But wait, the Medic class is also a solid choice if you're all about keeping your team alive, or yourself if you're playing solo. The Medic class spawns with healing items, which is already pretty clutch. But it gets even better. Over time, you'll randomly drop more healing items, which means you're like the walking pharmacy of Dead Cells. This class is great for team play since you can support your squad during the more intense parts of the game. Plus, if you like soloing, it'll keep you alive longer when things get a bit too crazy. Speaking of survival, the Rich class is perfect for those who like to play it a little safer and still have the resources to go the distance. With that extra cash in your pocket, you can grab all the essentials early on and avoid those panic moments when you realize you're low on supplies. You don't have to be in a rush for coal or potions, which means more time to strategize and plan your next move. You'll feel like a boss just cruising through the game, not sweating the small stuff. For those who want a bit of both worlds, offense and defense, the Gunslinger is an ideal fit. Not only do you start with a random gun and ammo, but you also have a good balance of flexibility. You'll be able to deal damage and keep enemies at bay without worrying too much about resource management. It's all about that early momentum. If you're someone who likes to dive in headfirst without too much preparation, this class lets you do that, while still having enough tools to stay alive and push forward. And let's not forget about the Priest. Imagine being able to clear out entire waves of enemies without even breaking a sweat. The Crucifix isn't just for show, it's a legit game changer. It's like having a cheat code, but it's built into your class. If you ever feel overwhelmed, just pull it out and wipe out your enemies with ease. It's an absolute lifesaver during those nail-biting moments when you're trying to survive in the heat of battle. The Priest is perfect if you want that extra edge without having to grind too hard. Lastly, the Medic isn't just about healing. It's about making sure that you and your team can keep going when the odds are against you. Being the person who carries the team on their back, literally, is one of the most satisfying roles to play. You're always in demand, always needed, and always ready to save the day. Whether you're playing solo or in a squad, the Medic class lets you be the unsung hero who keeps everyone alive. Who doesn't love being the team's lifeline? So there you have it. Whether you're all about the money, the guns, or saving your squad, these B-tier classes offer something fun and practical for every type of player. Take your pick and dive back into Dead Cells with a fresh perspective. The classes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Pyromancer and Screwloose. Alright, so let's talk about two classes in Dead Cells that are kind of underrated, but can seriously amp up your game if you're aiming for those high scores. First up, we've got the Pyromancer. Now, don't let the name fool you. This isn't just some fire-wielding maniac, although, yeah, setting things on fire is pretty awesome. The real gem of the Pyromancer is its ability to use literally anything as fuel. I'm talking about your dead teammates, the random objects lying around, even enemies that have been reduced to ash. It's like a joke, but it's actually the secret sauce for taking your score to the next level. You'll need to get creative with your resources, and this class lets you do exactly that, while keeping the chaos burning. Then we've got the Screwloose, and this one's a bit of a game changer when it comes to movement. You know how loot can slow you down? Well, not with Screwloose. This class gives you that sweet boost to your movement speed while you're looting. Imagine running around, picking up everything in sight like a speed demon, and you're doing it all without missing a beat. But here's the kicker. Pair this with a grenade, and you're looking at the ability to clear rooms faster than you can say next area. This is the kind of class you want when you're on a mission to make things go boom and get out of there quick. Now, I know it might sound like we're talking about some quirky situational classes, but let me tell you, they're built for speed and efficiency. The Pyromancer may seem like it's all about fire and explosions, but it's so much more than that. If you're not afraid to sacrifice a bit of your squad, or use every little resource, you'll see your scores skyrocket. The Pyromancer turns what seems like a disadvantage into pure fuel for your success. It's basically the perfect class for the player who likes to burn through obstacles in style. On the flip side, the Screw Loose class is for anyone who loves to loot without the slowdown. You know how it is. You're in a rush, trying to clear the area, but loot's always in the way. With this class, it's like you've got a rocket strapped to your back. Whether you're looting, clearing enemies, or making quick exits, Screw Loose ensures you're never stuck behind a wall of stuff. Combining the speed with a good grenade can make for one hell of a clearing spree, and in Dead Sales, that's exactly what you need if you want to rack up the points. The classes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Necromancer and Traitor. Alright, let's talk about some of the absolute best classes in Dead Sales, and trust me, these picks are going to make your gameplay go from good to legendary. First up, we have the Necromancer, and let me tell you, this class is just chef's kiss. The ability to summon the dead as your allies is a game changer, especially when you're facing off against the toughest bosses like the Kraken. Imagine having a whole army of reanimated enemies fighting for you. It's like a spooky dream come true. Not only does it give you an edge in fights, but you can also play a more strategic role by sending your undead minions ahead to do the dirty work while you hang back and take control. It's all about letting the dead do your bidding. Now, I know some people might argue that the Traitor is just an A-tier class, but I'm here to tell you, the Traitor is S-tier material. You might think, why would I pick a class that's all about trading? Well, let me break it down. The Traitor's ability to farm money is a game changer. The boosted selling prices at outposts mean you can make bank selling your loot, which allows you to grab more items, gear up, and get yourself some serious upgrades. This means you're going to survive longer, face harder challenges, and maybe even flex on your friends with all your shiny new toys. It's like playing the long game, and trust me, it pays off. Another cool thing about the Traitor is that it's perfect for players who like a more tactical approach. You don't always have to rush into battle like a berserker. Instead, you can take the time to strategize, stockpile your riches, and ensure that when it's time for the next big showdown, you've got everything you need to kick some serious butt. You can stay safe, but you're still thriving and leveling up. It's all about playing smart, not hard. So, if you're looking for a class that combines strategy with raw power, the Necromancer and Traitor are absolute must-tries in Dead Sales. Whether you're raising the dead to fight by your side or stacking up a fortune to fuel your next adventure, these two classes have got you covered. Trust me, once you've tried them out, you'll wonder how you ever played without them. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.